I have always wanted to be first in the world for a platinum trophy, seeing my name on PSN profiles as #1 for the rest of eternity. Sure, I could pick one of the many shovelware games that drop every day and be first, but there's no fun in that. I wanted a game I could be proud of, and that is why I decided I would attempt to be the first to platinum Oblivion Remastered. I definitely have a chance to be the first. Oh look, somebody already platinumed it one day after release. Well, there goes that plan. Did this guy even listen to a single piece of dialogue? Maybe I can get top 50? There's only one way to find out. I started off by creating my character, which I almost always pick Dark Elf, and named him Skid because we're going to be flying through this game. This guy across from me says he's gonna keep my wife company when he gets out of here. Don't worry, we will be back to take care of him later. After hearing that the Emperor had a wet dream about us, he decided that the fate of Tamriel was now in our hands. I honed my skills by killing some rats and decided I would protect the Emperor with my life. Well, he's dead, but he gave me the Amulet of Kings to take to a guy named Joffrey to help us find the Emperor's long-lost son, Martin. I then made it to the end of the Imperial sewers and got my first trophy of the game. When I stepped outside, I did the exact same thing my first time ever playing Oblivion, which was walking to the end of this dock and taking in the beauty of Cyrodiil. I then fulfilled my promise with the Emperor and taken the amulet to Joffrey, who was very surprised to hear I have one of the most important items in all of Tamriel. He tells me Martin can be found at Kvatch, but when I arrive, it has already been taken over by an Oblivion gate. If you never played Oblivion, all you gotta do is find your way to the top of the tower in the middle and grab the sigil stone and you're all good. Sounds easy, right? Just wait until you try and close these things when you're like level 15. Back at Kvatch, I cleared the city of the Daedra and turned in the deceased Count's ring to this extremely moist looking fellow. In exchange, got this sick looking armor. I think I'm ready to play in the 1930s NFL. After meeting Martin, we tell him the great news that he is the son of the former emperor and escorted him back to Joffrey. We headed back to his office to check on the Amulet of Kings, and for some reason, Joffrey decided to store the most important object in all of Tamriel in a wooden box. Great going, man. I then escorted Martin to Cloud Ruler Temple, aka the Club Penguin Dojo, to keep him safe. Oh, and Joffrey invites us to be one of the blades, so I guess I'll forgive you for losing the amulet. I then met up with Varys, the one guy from the sewers, and learned that the ones who killed the Emperor are part of the Mythic Dawn, a cult who worships Mehrunes Dagon. To find their sanctuary, I needed to find 4 books, and the first one happened to be on the assassin's body that Varys and I murked. The second book was gifted to me by one of the Mages Guild wizards, and the third book was just sold to this guy, so I forcefully took it out of his hands. The last book can only be acquired from a Mythic Dawn member, so Varys and I headed to the sewers to murk another member. We might be the best duo of all time. I took the books back to the wizards because they are way smarter than I am, and found out I had to head to Green Emperor Way in the Imperial Gardens at noon. The shrine revealed the location of said lair, and inside we find Mankar Cameron, the leader, and he escaped wearing the Amulet of Kings. Our only hope of finding him ever again was stealing the mysterious Xerxes sitting on this podium. I kept dying instantly every time I picked up this stupid book, so I decided to beeline it straight out of the cave without killing a single person. Martin deciphers the book and says I need to bring him a Daedric artifact. I decide to get one from the Shrine of Azura, and after sweet talking to this guy, I learned all I had to do was offer her some glow dusk at dawn or dusk. After waiting until dusk, she sent me on a quest to kill her followers who got trapped inside a cave. After barely surviving the last orc, they were all officially dead. Back at Azura, I was rewarded with her star and I immediately handed it in to Martin. Joffrey then wanted me to help close the Bruma Gate and show the recruits on how to close them. Unfortunately for them, I don't think they learned much of anything, as I just ran by every enemy and speed ran my way to the Sigil Stone. There you go, guys, now you can be a real gamer like me. Next up, Martin says we need the armor of Tiber Septim, and that is in the catacombs beneath Sancre Tor. After freeing the 4 ghosts, they cleared the magical door and I grabbed the armor. I'm honestly surprised no one else has decided to come down here and steal the armor, considering it's the armor of the greatest emperor in Tamriel history. Back at our boy Martin, he says that the third thing we need is to get a great Welkin stone in the alien city of Miscarend. I also love how this camera angle makes it look like I'm 10 feet tall. On my way to the ruins, I experienced a core feature of a Bethesda game. I was getting worried there for a second. I couldn't count this as a true remaster if it didn't feature crashing. It was at this point where I realized I should probably be playing on Novice if I want a chance at top 50, so I just went around the rest of the game basically one-shotting every enemy. I did reach the end of the city, got the stone, and delivered the goods back to Martin, who is now championing a 6 set of armor. The last item we needed is a great sigil stone, but I decided to take a break from my heroic quests and join the Thieves Guild so I can rob everyone in Tamriel. Joining the guild was pretty easy. I just punched this guy in the face and I spent a night in jail. And then I met this guy at the waterfront at midnight. I had to be the first to bring him some guy's diary, and after bribing a homeless guy, I knew exactly where it was. I then started robbing every house I could find because to unlock all the quests for the guild, you need to fence 1,000 gold of stolen goods. Shortly after my robbing spree, I also joined the Mages Guild to become one of the greatest wizards of Nirn. To officially join the Mages Guild, I needed the recommendations of 7 guild halls in the major cities, which pretty much consisted of completing fetch quests for each one. I'm not going to bore you with each and every mission for all the guilds because this video would be 45 minutes long, but I will briefly explain what has been going on. Oh, it was also about this point that I realized that I somehow became a vampire and that the quickest way to get rid of it was to just load a previous save. I had to go back before I got the Great Welkin Stone, so I wasn't a very happy camper when this happened. Back to where I was, I decided to bang out the Thieves Guild quest line. I completed a bunch of quests for this guy, this Khajiit, and the Grey Fox, the leader of the Thieves Guild. The quests are alright, nothing worth covering in a YouTube video, but the very last quest probably is one of the best in the game. Your mission is to steal an Elder Scroll for the Grey Fox, and you go on a long and elaborate journey acquiring items you need to break into the city Arboretum. Arboretum? I don't know. Arboretum. We're gonna just say it's Arboretum. Okay, after consulting Google Translate, I was wrong. It's Arboretum. I'm still calling it Arboretum. The reason we need the scroll is because the Grey Fox is actually Count Corvus of Anvil, and we needed it to break the curse that removed him and all memories of him from history. It's okay because now I'm the new guild master, and Corvus can be reunited with his wife. Next, I decided to complete the Mages Guild quest line, and after getting all the recommendations, I met Raminus, aka John Bon Jovi, and was now an official member of the guild. The first thing I did was head to the local grove to harvest wood for my official staff, but when I arrived, all the mages were murdered by necromancers. It was all worth it because now I got the coolest staff in all of Cyrodiil. Oh, and I also got a promotion. Thank you, John Bon Jovi. To summarize this storyline, you basically complete quests for Hannibal Traven, aka Sid the Science Kid, investigating necromancers and their infiltration on the Mages Guild. The necromancers are part of the Cult of Worms, and they are led by Mannimarco. These guys try and recruit members from within our guild and destroy it from the inside out, but I have other plans because I found the guy and murdered him.
You are dead!
After that epic battle, I am now the leader of the Mages Guild. I was tired of being a hero around these parts, so I decided to head over to the arena to do some ruthless killing. Since I was on Novice trying to speedrun these trophies, these arena matches were very easy, with some of the enemies dying in like 2 hits, which meant I heard this voice line every 30 seconds.
All hail the combatant from the blue team!
The final battle for Grand Champion was against Agranuk, who I just met 10 minutes ago when I walked into the arena for the first time. I chose my battle name Man o' War and decided to take off all my armor to make this guy look like an absolute fool when I beat him. When the gates opened, I instantly bum rushed this guy and killed him with my iron short sword. Rip Bozo, thanks for the new sword and shield, man. Leaving the arena, we met my biggest fan, the Adoring Fan. Sure buddy, you can follow me wherever I go. Let's just head outside the city, and thanks man, now I can join the Dark Brotherhood. After my slumber, I met this guy who says if I kill a guy named Rufio, I can officially join the Brotherhood. I made my way to his living quarters and slashed him across the face. After sleeping in his bed, I am once again met by Lucian, who accepts me into his ranks. I made my way to the Brotherhood Sanctuary and met all my new murderous friends. My first set of contracts were given by Billy Corgan, and like most of the missions here, I decided to go out and kill people. This one contract, I did get to make my way back to my jail cell and kill the guy from the beginning of the game who said he was going to bang my wife. The only thing he's banging is his head onto the rock floor. This next mission, I had to kill this guy with a poison blade and gave his corpse the next day an antidote to get him out of paying his debts. Can we do this in real life? According to Billy Corgan, this was good enough for a promotion, so thanks man. After killing this recently retired Imperial Guard enjoying a swim at the local pond, I made my way back to Ochiva to receive another promotion. My next mission was from Lucian, who wanted me to kill all my new friends I just made, because he believes there is a mole inside the Dark Brotherhood. I'm sorry I have to do this, Billy Corgan. My entire future with the guild is completing dead drops for Lucian, and after doing like 7 of these things, I found out the mole is still alive and all the dead drops I were doing were replaced by him, which means I killed almost everyone in the Brotherhood. So yeah, Lucian isn't too happy about this. After speaking to this guy who's been planting the dead drops and murdering our #1 fan once more, I found out that the traitor is plotting these schemes because the Dark Brotherhood killed his mother years ago. He had her head sitting on the shrine, so I just decided to take it. I returned to Lucian, but it seems like the Black Hand already mutilated his corpse because they thought he was the traitor. At least I got another promotion out of it. The last thing I did was speak to the Night Mother because the traitor would surely try and kill her.
It is Matthew Bellamont. Do not let him harm the Night Mother. Kill him.
This guy should probably work on his aim. The Dark Brotherhood questline is now complete. The last guild I had to complete was the Fighters Guild. This guild is pretty much the equivalent of being a police officer, as you just go around helping people, clearing monsters, or solving mundane problems. It was also at this point that I realized there was only like 10 spots left to try and get top 50, so I started skipping every piece of dialogue. The first quest is the only thing I had any clue what was going on, and it was that this lady's pet rats kept getting eaten by lions, and I had to figure out why they kept getting into her basement. It turns out this Argonian has been planting stakes outside to lure out the rats, but instead it has been attracting lions. Great job, lady. Like I said, I was speedrunning through these missions, going from guild hall to guild hall, trophy after trophy, becoming a hero amongst the common folk. But then it happened. Top 50 was no longer obtainable. My goal has been denied. Do I start playing this game at a normal pace to drown out my sorrows? Do I just give it up altogether? No, silly. I'm just gonna speedrun it even faster because the people yearn for the platinum trophies. I became the champion of the Fighters Guild. I became the master of the Fighters Guild. I am the Fighters Guild. In fact, I am all 4 guilds. This must be what the Emperor saw in his dreams.
You are the one from my dreams.
There was only one thing left to complete, which was to become Cyrodiil's greatest hero. After having a war meeting with the Countess of Bruma, I decided it was time to take down Mehrunes Dagon and Mankar Cameron once and for all. I made my way to the Oblivion Gates of Bruma, and after taking down all the Daedra, it was time to enter the Great Oblivion Gate and take the Great Sigil Stone. And yes, this game was running at 20 FPS at this point. I really don't know why it kept doing this. I speedran my way to the top of the tower, killing every enemy in 2 hits, and got exactly what I needed. The battle isn't over yet because apparently Joffrey just doesn't like me anymore, and I tried loading saves to save him, but he just kept fighting me, so I just decided to murder him. Rip Bozo. With everything we needed to get to Mankar Cameron, we traveled to his own realm paradise. I enjoyed all the scenery he created by running past it all and killed this Daedra blocking my way. After putting on the shackles I'd taken from his corpse, which gave me a seizure apparently, I was now a prisoner of Mankar Cameron. This guy wanted to help me, so we removed my shackles so I can escape this prison. We were now seconds away from our epic battle with Mankar Cameron. I killed his loved ones and made my way inside for the most epic battle of all time.
Time for you, champion of...
He's dead. I took the amulet back to Martin, and it was time to light the dragon fires and end the Oblivion crisis. Me and my boy Martin fought our way to the Temple of One, and by fighting, I mean running past Mehrunes Dagon because that is the only way he wouldn't get stomped to death. Even though I spent all that time making sure he lived, I still had to say goodbye to Martin, which made me very sad. Martin shatters the Amulet of Kings and turns himself into a dragon to banish Dagon back to the Oblivion Realm forever. I have now obtained the Platinum Trophy, and the only spot I can put this is S tier. Besides some poor performance issues sometimes and being soft-locked out of completing quests, this actually is one of the greatest video games to ever hit the shelves. Well, this one was only digital shelves, but the original was one of the greatest games to ever hit the shelves. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.